And good evening, how you all doing? It's Rob here from Cruising on High Seas and Travel with my friend Jeremy from Cruising is Fun Anytime. How you doing today, Jeremy?
What's up, man? We are doing well. We got homework and the last of the packing and the beginning of the punch list because we cruise in 2 weeks and you know how it is. Whenever you get ready to go on a cruise, it's a madhouse to say the very least.
Yeah, and of
And this
course
and
you
this
you
time around, we got a kid with us. So she got that two-piece luggage that I got.
yep.
She got the smaller one. So when she came in from school, she was like, we told her you got a new suitcase, and so she got all excited and everything. So she's packed up with a hard shell, and her and Daddy now have a matching hard shell suitcase. So yeah, that was progress.
Yeah, very big crossing. And you said that you're cruising on which line again?
Norwegian this time around
Norwegian.
is different. It's going to be different. I know you've cruised with Norwegian. I would like to pick your brain if that's all right
Yep,
during
pick.
this next hour, and let's talk Norwegian
Yep, pick.
versus Carnival because I know you've done both. I would like for you to outline for not only folks that are watching. First of all, welcome in if you're joining us on the live, and secondly, I would like for you to educate me. That way, I can bring this to this replay to our attention if we got any more questions
Yep.
about
So,
it.
so first things first, let's welcome on in the people into the chat so far. First up in the chat was Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. Good day, evening, you all, and thanks for coming for tonight's live.
Thanks for coming in.
Next in the chat was Cruising is Fun Anytime.
Yep.
And they were saying, good evening, everyone, welcome on in. And so far, that's all we have in the chat. If you are in the chat, type in hashtag creator if you are a creator, or even just acknowledge yourself, or if you want to be a lurker, I'm cave for lurkers too. I love lurkers. So, like we said, we're gonna just talk about whatever comes on up, and we can chat about Carnival, Norwegian, whatever may pop on up.
Okay, so the Norwegian way of doing things, as I understand it, is they like to be innovative in that they want to be different. Okay, and different to me is brand new. It is, the anytime dining or the freestyle dining
Mm-hmm.
versus your fixed or anytime dining on Carnival. How does that differ? And do you find it to be cumbersome at times trying to find a table versus having like early dining or late dining on Carnival?
So, for me, comparing between the two, Carnival versus Norwegian, set timing versus anytime, I find anytime it's more open and you can go whenever you please. Now, if you are traveling with a small group, I believe the magical number is eight or less. Majority of the time when you go, they have a table ready for you instantly. It's very rare that you have to wait a few moments. So I think the longest we've ever waited was maybe 10, 15 minutes, if that.
Right.
And that was like for a party of what, four, eight people on our previous cruise.
Hmm.
So it was not a very long wait. And of course, it's freestyle, so you come and go. So you may say, I want to eat at 6 o'clock tonight, but tomorrow at 6 o'clock, you're not hungry. You may say 8 o'clock, I want to go eat. You go
Right.
eat at 8 o'clock. Where with Carnival, with set time dining, if you got 6 o'clock, you're 6 o'clock all cruise long.
Hmm.
So to me, I like the freestyle, go when I please.
And when you get there, ordering your food, do you order all three? Do you order all three courses at the same time, and they
Yes.
bring it out in steps? Okay, so it's just like that.
Yeah.
I noticed that the menu was constant in those main dining rooms, at least the videos that I watched. Is it typical of Norwegian ships to generally not change those menus, or is that something that may be Prima specific?
It might be Prima Pacific from the ones that I've gone on so far, which was the Dawn, the Epic, Breakaway, and Encore.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Encore or Escape? Escape, I think it was. It was each day the menu changed slightly, but you still have the standard menu that stays all the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then let's see. I know that Hudson's is more elevated than the Commodore. And I know that Taste and Savor are probably ones that you have been to before.
Correct.
Can
That's a standard.
Okay, can you kind of give me a comparison based off of land-based restaurants, things that you know about land-based American restaurants, if you can, and give me a comparison of the elevated main dining room versus your standard, Taste and Savor type main dining rooms?
Uh, hmm.
Because I'm trying to see how Hudson's compares to Commodore.
Well, I'm trying to because Hudson's is a new name.
Yeah, that's for Prima. That's for Prima.
So I'm trying to compare what is Hudson's to what I know it as.
I don't know. It's the more elevated one that has the Atlantic salmon and the steaks and stuff just on the main dining room menu versus Taste and Savor, the regular main dining rooms.
Okay,
I'm not sure what the name of it would be on any of the other ones, but it's the special main dining room.
Yeah, that because Hudson's is classified as a special one.
It's a main dining room.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is included. 2 more people have made it into the chat.
Welcome. Yeah, welcome in Bill from Warmstrong.
And Najuma Brown.
Hello, Mrs. Najuma Brown.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know about the Hudson one, but I can definitely speak upon Taste and Savor because that's a standard restaurant on across fleet wide.
Mm-hmm.
And I would compare them to almost similar to like not really your Danny's, but like a nice casual sit down restaurant,
like a TGI Fridays or a Chili's or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, well that'll work. And then I know that Hudson's is going to be elevated, so I packed elevated clothes. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to Hudson's. It's got me. And then they got this new thing, the Indulge Food Hall. Now I have been watching videos on this, and what you do is you sit down and there's a tablet in front of you that you can order stuff from, but they have different cookeries all around, in the food hall from different areas of the world. And so a lot of the stuff is included, some is pay. But they do have Texas barbecue on the ship, if you will. And I'm going to see how that goes, because on the same menu they have deviled eggs with bacon in them.
Okay.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to that also. Let's see. Another thing that's different is the dry slides. The dry slides is kind of like the Ultimate Abyss, And I think that's going to be a good segue for me getting on the Harmony in 2025, because it goes
Right.
down 10 decks, the same thing. And at the end of it, guess what restaurant is that? It's the local. Now,
Yeah.
have you had the local, and would you rather, and here's a good would you rather. Would you rather a burger from the local or a guy's burger? And if so, why?
Okay. Well, I can't compare those two because I haven't had a guy's burger, but the local is the same thing as Oshi Hands
Mm-hmm.
on the some of their other ships. So the ships I've been on so far have been Oshi Hands, and the burgers there they're banging on.
Okay.
But the one must, to my opinion, is their nachos.
Nachos.
Nachos and their chicken wings, especially their Jamaican jerk,
Jamaica jerk wings. Okay.
because
I'm
it
gonna have to
does
do
have
that.
a kick to it.
Yep.
And I was introduced to the Jamaican jerk on the Dawn by our server, who just happened to be from Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So he
That's
says
what's up.
if you're looking for spice and flair, that's your sauce.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's going to be different. I know it's going to be really, really different. Um, Now let's talk lifestyle aboard Norwegian versus Carnival. I know that Carnival calls themselves the fun ship, and everything that they do is geared towards fun. The trivia, the comedy, the sail away, the everything that Carnival is down to the bone. And I see that whenever I'm cruising. Now, what would you say that Norwegian is more focused on, as far as generally focused on as a cruise line? Are they the kick back and relax ship? Are they the feed you with all this good food ship? Are they super just really good in customer service? What sets Norwegian apart from Carnival and the other cruise lines, in your opinion?
I find the sailaway party, they focus really hard on the sailaway party,
Hmm.
but when you want to talk, because I have only done Norwegian, play ships with Norwegian, and just one with Carnival. But if I was gonna just do the sailaway party versus Carnival versus Norwegian, Carnival takes the belt on that one,
Right.
hands down, because they were more into it, and I also find it's more based upon the cruise director too that you have.
Hmm.
So the cruise director that we had on the Glory, he was really into it.
Hmm.
Where on the Norwegian ones, they were into it, but not as much as the Carnival ones. But they really Norwegian really focuses on the activities and the games and stuff like that. So like trivia and bingo and deal or no deal. They
Hmm.
focus into the activities, and they want to be keep you well informed. Hey, in so many minutes, this will be happening here, and this will be happening here. 'Cause they don't want you to miss a single piece of the action. But they're not push against you. So you also get that kick back and relax. Now, when you want to talk food, Norwegian wins it hands down.
Okay. That's good. I mean, just from watching videos, I could tell that food is way better
Yeah.
than Carnival's. Now let's see. Okay, so they focus more on getting you involved in the activities. The the okay, and I know that there's like a dartboard, and there's several dartboards actually going along one of the areas, and in my opinion, what they like to do is they're trying to propel us into the future with all of these, like VR goggle games and stuff like that. Have you gotten on those type of things on the ship, and do you find them to be worth it based off of the length of time that they allow you to stay on those big rides and things that the VR goggles are hooked up to?
Okay, so the way how I'm understanding is you're referring it towards either the Teens Club, which is at the Entourage, which only 13 and up can go, 13 17 can go to that,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to register on embarkation day when you get on board the ship. And then they have the arcade,
These are the adult, like these are big
or these.
rides that the adults can get
Okay,
into.
yeah. So the adults, I only know about the arcade side of it. So when we go on, we get an arcade package
Okay.
for my nephew, and it only allows you, I believe it's the green machines. So you use your Sail Sign card to pay for the machine to play the
Mhm.
game, and if it's green, it's part of your package. So easiest way is, as long as you're not going to be getting a ticket to get a prize at the end,
Mhm.
it's part of it. But anything like the escape room or anything like that, I don't know what it's like because I haven't done it on board
Okay.
before.
Oh, that's one thing that we do need to talk about. Okay, whenever I have pulled into Roatan, it was one time on the Vista over on the Mahogany Bay side, which is owned by Carnival. I've only
Mm-hmm.
seen that part of Honduras. Whenever you pull into Roatan on Norwegian, you go into a different area, from what I
Correct.
understand. How is it over there? And I don't know if you've ever been to Montego Bay, but or not Mahogany
Yeah.
Bay.
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever been there, but from what you've seen, heard, or whatever, how does it compare to Carnival side?
Okay. Well, I can't compare to Carnival side as of yet because I've never done Carnival side. But from my personal experience, the Norwegian side, I had a blast.
Hmm. What do they have over there available for the people to do?
There's naturally every port you have all the port shops and all that. So there's all that, and then of course then you have the excursions that you can go off and do either through the cruise line or privately. So when I was there in 2018, I went on an excursion with my oldest nephew, ziplining, and my youngest nephew and youngest two nieces, they weren't able to come ziplining with us because I believe they weren't heavy enough or their age. I can't remember what the reason was behind it.
Hmm.
So me and my oldest nephew, we had a great time. And my mom walked around the port with the other three.
Cool.
And unfortunately, they didn't really have that much of a great time at that port.
Okay.
Now, the one thing I do recommend is if you are going to get any item from a store there, and I'm not picking just on that location. Do it with every port. Look
Hmm.
at the item very carefully, especially if it happens to be a stuffed bear or something like that, and make sure that there's no rips or anything in there because that is what I'm referring it towards at that port was the gift that they got. it was damaged before they even got back to the ship. It was
Right.
discovered. So it had to be returned, and a little scuffle was by verbal
Mm-hmm.
was the issue there.
So yeah, check your stuff before you leave the shop
Yeah, check your stuff before you leave the
and
shop and
before
make
you
sure.
buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not picking just on that port. Do it with all the ports, but that's where I'm referring towards with that port.
Yep.
Now, I
And
have a feeling you probably also want to know about Belize.
Harvest K, you doggone right. I want to know about that next because Norwegian private island. I mean, come on, let's hear all about it. And how does it stack up to other private islands or, anywhere else where you have been that it's exclusive to another cruise line?
So, when you are talking about Belize, I love it. And you pull right up to the dock. It's its own private dock. It's maybe if a 5 minute walk,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a walk-in pool, pool bar, a whole bunch of excursions. So technicality, you truly don't have to have an excursion booked when you're at Belize.
Right.
Now, when you want to talk about Harvest K, that is a tender port as of right now. I do believe they are trying to make it a polling dock,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know when that is going to happen. And the same thing applies there. You really don't need to have. I'm going to get to that comment in 1 second.
Yes.
I you. It's a fantastic port at in the Bahamas for the Harvest K.
Mm-hmm.
And like once again, you really don't need to have excursion booked. Like
Right.
those are two ports. You're set to not really have to have an excursion at all,
Yeah.
and you're going to have a great time. And I know for sure at Harvest K, I don't remember about Belize if food was available for you because
No.
it's owned by the ship.
Yeah, I know. They charge for everything on the island. I know that the drink package doesn't work, or nothing works over there. I've just done a little bit of YouTube research. I was just maybe asking if you had any experience there. I know that generally on the carnival side, we do get this like barbecue, whatever. It's like burgers and dogs and stuff like that. But on Harvest K, they had menus with prices, but they also had elevated food once again on the
Yeah,
private island. So it's like they keep the same enthusiasm, at least with the food on the private island. I really thought that was cool of them.
yeah.
And
So
let's
let's welcome this guy in,
yeah.
Scott from the Message Drill.
Hey,
He's going. Oh shoot! I thought Rob from Cruise Brothers was on tonight.
well, okay. To be fair, you have Rob, and then you got Jeremy from Cruise Brothers on the same panel. So I don't know. That might be who Rob from Cruise Brothers is. You never know.
You never know.
Stay
But
tuned.
stay tuned. I did reach out to this Rob from Cruise Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still waiting for him to respond back
Yep.
as if he would like to be on the panel one night with us.
Oh snap! Crystal made it in.
Hello, Crystal. How are you
Good
doing
evening.
tonight? So hopefully that satisfies that you got Rob from Cruising on the High Seas and Travel,
And travel. That's right.
and Jeremy from Cruise Brothers.
Yep. All right. I'm sick of snow. I I don't know that I could ever say that. It snows like once every 7 years here,
You know,
and it's about this much, and it doesn't stick. She misses the Jubilee already. I know that's right. I know you want to jump back in and get back on it.
and say snow one more time.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, the Excel class. Let me tell you, that Excel class is completely awesome. You want to talk about just blow your mind because the biggest that I had been on was naturally the Vista, and the Vista was so much better than the Breeze that and plus we had a balcony. We were supposed to get the spa room, but then we got upgraded to the balcony. It was just this big thing. They made us feel really welcome, and then the food was a little bit better on the Vista. We get to the Excel, and it's so many dining options that you can't even try them all in one cruise. So yeah, the Excel class did step it up, but from what I see, the Prima is really where it's at, as far as NCL is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, the thing about the Prima that is really drawing me in is it seems to be just the lifestyle on Norwegian. It's not an ongoing party. So you're not going to have Cat and Het running through the hallways or the cruise director jumping down the banister or anything. It just seems a little bit different. If you could walk me through a day on NCL versus Carnival, while making a comparison between the two, like what do they prioritize? Do they prioritize the shows? Do they prioritize the little side performances? Do they highlight the trivia and getting together and playing cornhole,
Okay.
stuff like that? What do they put more emphasis on, if you will?
They put more emphasis on what's occurring on at the current moment or upcoming,
Mm-hmm.
but they also talk about later on in the day and this evening. But they really put on a main focus of at that moment
Mm-hmm.
of what's happening or about to happen. And then, of course, like I said, as the time goes on throughout the day and the evening, then they start putting focus on onto them,
Yep.
and then leading into the next day. And of course, as always, you will always have what Carnival calls their fun times. You will have one inside your stateroom to plan for the next day.
Cool beans.
Yeah. And the one fact that I'm not sure if I shared it with you or not is sometimes you're not sure, not you directly, but you in general as a passenger, you're not sure which way you're walking, if you're walking towards the front of the ship or the
Right.
back of the ship. If you look on the floor along where the staterooms are,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to see fishies. And the fish always swim to the front of the ship.
Yep.
So that's how you know which direction are you walking.
That is so cool. That is
And
so
that is
cool.
so cool.
Yep. And also, let's see.
And the bonus factor, I can't remember I mentioned it to either you or your wife Cheryl. It was the Cruise Next program they have.
Yes, I learned about that in my Norwegian training.
The
That seems to be cool. It really does. You can just put money on some cruise in the future, and they'll take that cruise credit and apply it as a deposit.
yeah, and then while you're on board at the time, depending upon how much you put down,
Mm-hmm.
and of course you can find all that information inside your stateroom with the welcome package and down in the atrium. They have a cruise next desk. They're more than glad to explain it to you. But as of this current moment, if you put down 1,000, that gets you 4 cruise credits.
Mm.
And out of that 1,000, they're going to give you $500 back instantly to spend on board that ship.
Right.
For 3 cruise credits, that's $750, and you get back half of that, which works out to be about what, $375
Yep.
on board instantly.
For the next
Now,
cruise.
of course, when I say instantly, it takes it time for them to process it and then put the credit there for you. But it will be there done within typically a 24-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
2 cruise credits is $500. You're going to get $250 back, and 1 cruise credit is $250, and I think it's about $75 back.
Yep.
But always check with the cruise next desk, and they can explain it all to you and what the current promotion that they are running. But that is the typical promotion that they do run.
Yep.
And the great thing is the cruise credits, they're good for 4 whole years. So
Yep.
you don't have to even have a trip planned or a ship picked out.
Yeah, well, I'm already looking at more Norwegian sailings, believe it or not, and we've been shopping Galveston and New Orleans, and so far the one that piques my interest the most, because it's a closed loop. It goes from Galveston to Galveston. Is a 14-day, and this one's going to South America, so it's like that's a whole nother side of cruising that you wouldn't normally see, and the price is not that bad, you know. It's really not, and I'm looking at that one, and I'm also looking at leaving out of New Orleans again, because that was a beautiful sight to see, going down the Mississippi, and being able to hang out with my people and eating Cajun food and cracklings and stuff like that. The whole New Orleans experience was cool. Plus, it's drivable.
Yeah.
It's not that far from us, so we'll be looking at more Norwegian sailings for the future. And if they hook us in with this food, Rob, I don't know. We might come back talking smack about Carnival.
Yeah,
I don't know.
My personal opinion, when I was on the Glory,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the food was horrible, but I was disappointed.
Yeah.
With the food selections. And I felt the menu was always the same. There was nothing different. So I was always getting the same food.
Yep. Well, that's the issue with the older ships. Just like on the Paradise, it's going to be more limited than the Glory, and so it's like, oh, and that's another thing I wanted to ask you: where on the ship can on a Norwegian ship can you generally get some free tacos or burritos, kind of like you can do on Carnival, like a Blue Iguana?
The Lido deck.
The Lido deck. Okay.
The Lido deck. The Lido deck, and there's always food available on the Lido deck.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll have food available on the outside, and there's always food available on the inside.
Okay. They don't close it down for long periods of time like they do on Carnival?
Not that I've noticed.
Okay.
And then when it is closed down, in your case, it would be the local.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 24/7
yeah.
So it's always open. So when I go on Norwegian, I'm pretty much guaranteed to go to, in this case, the local, at least minimum once a day.
Mm-hmm. Minimum once a day.
Minimum once a day.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Minimum once a day. Sometimes I'm there about 2 or 3 times.
Now, that's got to be a bad place right there, man.
And it's good.
One thing we got to talk about is the pizza difference now. Okay, so like I'm not down on Carnival Pizza. I'm not, because I love Carnival Pizza. That's the only line that I've sailed with, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But when the camera pulled across those pizzas, it was made on that on the focaccia bread. It wasn't made on regular pizza crust. So tell me the difference, in your opinion, between the Carnival Pizza and the NCL pizza. Would you rather? Which one and why?
I personally rather the Carnival pizza because I like it the way how Carnival does it
The thin crust?
with the thin crust.
Yeah.
Then so that's just the reason why I prefer the Carnival one, and I haven't had a bad Carnival pizza yet.
Right.
Now, once I hit that bad Carnival pizza that I do hear about from time to time, I may flip my opinion around.
Okay.
Right now, Carnival is taking the title.
Okay. Well, that'll work. That'll work. That still says a lot about Carnival Pizza. You know, I mean, say what you want to about the rest of the food, but hey, that pizza is always a winner, and it's always the same, like straight across every ship that I've been on. And I've been from the I want to say Spirit class, because I'm not sure what class the Glory was, all the way up to Excel. And then being on the Paradise, I know the pizza is going to be good, but I saw that focaccia bread pizza. I'm definitely going to try it and make a comparison there and see, if they use real mozzarella, it's got to be a winner, because that focaccia bread looked like it had some herbs and stuff in it that you could dip in some pesto or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty good.
It does seem very, very, very good.
Now the crew, okay, is the crew as lively and as nice as they are on Carnival, in your opinion?
I find they are at a par level and they don't over exceed each other
Okay.
because they're always encouraging and want you to play along. So, like for example, say you're passing by the atrium,
Mm-hmm.
and just say you're by yourself or you're with a partner or whatever the case may be. They may try and encourage you, hey, come on and play this game or whatever the case may be. So they want to encourage you to play along and have some fun.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That will work. Now I know that big acts like Cirque du Soleil and things like that used to be on Norwegian, and I know that you probably didn't get a chance to catch any of the shows on the Glory, right?
I caught a couple shows, but not very many.
Based off of the playlist performance, the playlist production shows that you went to on the Glory versus the shows on NCL, who's the winner?
Hands down, not even by a landslide. It goes to Norwegian.
Norwegian. Okay, we got a winner.
It goes to them like hands down.
Okay,
It's not even a question in my books
cool beans. We'll be
because
sure to.
you're catching Broadway shows.
Yeah.
So, for example, right now there's a musical group called The Six. I'm trying to remember where did I see them on what ship. I'm in between either the Epic or the Breakaway. I don't believe it was on this previous one, but they were fantastic.
Cool.
And right now they are currently in my city. And I'm tempted to get tickets to go see them again.
Nice.
That's how good they were.
And I saw a video clip of a show that might resemble something that looks like the show Stomp, and that looked like it was exciting. They were doing some dancing and would appear to be knocking on the stage at certain intervals, and I'm like, that looks awfully like Stomp.
I think you're talking about Choir of Men.
Okay.
And if you have Choir of Men on your ship, I urge you to go watch the show.
Cool. So yeah, what?
Yes, they do give up free drinks.
Nice.
And when I say free drinks, I'm talking alcoholic drinks.
Yep. I guess we'll have to make those shows there. Okay. Let me see. There's not that many more questions that I have on NCL so far. I know that the muster is going to be a little different. Oh, we were discussing it today on the show. And how many times do you see or hear anybody telling you to put your phone on airplane mode before the cruise? And if so, where can you find this information out?
Bloop, bloop.
None.
0.
Oh, wow.
0.
Okay, so you just have to know these things, right?
You just got to know these things.
Yeah, that's very important for any first-time cruisers watching. You got to put that cell phone on airplane mode, otherwise you will regret it monetarily. And that is not a euphemism. That is, I mean, we really do mean that. It's going to be an astronomical data bill from your cell phone carrier whenever you come back.
Yeah, because like I'm not sure how your guys' plans are set up down in the States, but for us up here, we have a thing called Roam Like Home.
Yep.
So, for example, when I was down in New Orleans, I think I was paying about $12 a day, and it was acting like I'm back here.
Right.
So for $12 a day, I can use all my data, use all my minutes like I'm still back home. Now, when I go abroad, like to say Jamaica, Australia, Cuba, wherever, that is outside of the American umbrella. Then I believe it goes up to about $15, $16 a day. And it acts same thing as Roam Like Home. But when I got onto the ship in NOLA, actually even before I got onto the ship, got out of my transportation, the first thing I did, data off, airplane mode on.
Yep.
And then I turned to my buddy who was with me. Your data's off? Yep. Airplane mode on? Yep. We're good to go.
Yep.
And you do it with everyone in your party. Make sure that it's all done. And it stays that way until we get back to where we have our coverage.
Oh, another thing. Whenever you sailed on Norwegian, do they have a chat feature that is available just like we had on the Glory? No. So cruisers can't chat between each other?
No. So you have your internet package. And if you have your standard internet package, it's 150 minutes for the first 2 cruisers.
Right.
So in your case, it would be you and your wife, 150 minutes each. And what you do need to remember is when you're done using it. So, for example, if you log into, say, check your emails or surf the web quickly or send a quick update of your day at Coco Cay or wherever your stop happened to be.
Right.
When you're done, you need to remember to hit log off.
Okay.
Because if you just close the screen down, it's still counting your minutes
Oh, okay.
down to 0. And once you hit 0, well, you're done.
You're done.
You're done.
Yep.
So you need to make sure you hit the log out button. Now, of course, if you paid extra to have the unlimited,
Mm-hmm.
then who cares? I got unlimited.
Right.
But because you have the minutes, you have to remember to hit that log out button.
Okay.
So that is just as important as to the question that you put towards about your airplane mode.
Okay. And Najuma says, I got that info from the hub. Yeah, I know. I know. I seen on the Carnival Hub app.
Yeah.
I saw it. It says put your phone in airplane mode, connect to the ship's Wi-Fi, or download the Carnival Hub app. Once you got that, it tells you to put your phone in airplane mode, connect to the Carnival's Wi-Fi, and then boom, use your internet. But it does tell you to do it. You know, I'm going back in my memory, and I'm like, it tells you, you know, right there on your screen. But you know, I guess some people just don't read it
Yeah.
and get this big bill whenever they come back.
Yeah. Like when I came back from NOLA, I knew I was walking in with an extra $36
Yeah.
expense. And I it wasn't a surprise to me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was coming because I was using it throughout the first 2 days, 3 days. So I told my buddy I was traveling with, there's no need for you to be running yours.
Right.
We'll run mine. Whatever we need to do, we'll push it through mine. When we get back, we'll settle up with that there to
Yep.
save money, because why spend more money if you don't need to?
Absolutely.
So
Well, cool.
yeah,
Man, I learned a lot.
yep. And like for me personally, I didn't have no issue with the Carnival Hub app. I was on it easily. Well, unfortunately, Justin, he had his hard time of getting on to it.
Yeah, I couldn't get him connected either. I'm like, wait a minute, this is a Canadian American issue first, and then it becomes an American international thing, and we don't want to mess up any roaming anything. So I shut it down. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be responsible for extra charges on your bill, man. I couldn't help him. I could not help. I was really helpless about that. Um, I know in Mexico, like our data works. So because we're going to 2 Mexican ports, I'll probably do a lot of posting from there. You know, just to get some content out,
Yeah.
maybe on Instagram or something like that.
Now you're going into uh,
Costa Maya,
Costa
Cozumel.
Maya.
Yep, never been there.
I've been there before and had a great time. And from our experience, we didn't have a excursion at that one either,
Mm-hmm.
and we still had a blast.
Yeah, I want to go see the real life flamingos, man. They're right out there, just standing there.
And of course, before you get on board the ship, on the gangway, or just before the gangway, you have the opportunity to take your photo in front of the ship,
Mm-hmm.
with the ship in the backdrop.
Right.
It's always a worthy thing to do. Like we get photos of it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I got one right here where my nephew's being a little goofy in the photo, so I won't share that photo. But he's being a little goofy in that photo.
Right.
But of course, that's what kids are meant for, to be a little
Absolutely.
goofy.
Oh, and speaking of which, the big 8x10 pictures on the ship. Okay. I know that they were $22.75 on Carnival. Comparatively speaking, and based off of your experience, how much is one 8x10 photo from Norwegian?
I don't know the answer to that question because when we get the photos, my mom buys it as a package.
Okay.
So we pick out our favorite photos of what we want, of the most one of each.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get home, I'll go, I want this one, this one, this one, this one. We bring it up to our local Walmart and we just get copies.
Oh.
Because you are going to pay an arm and a leg on board for all the photos that you want and get them to do it for you
Mm-hmm.
versus get just the ones that you want and then take them up to your local Walmart or wherever you get them done and get copies of them. So just get one copy and then if you want more copies, do it that way.
That's a little different too, because once you're off the ship, they disappear from your hub app. You can no longer purchase them once you get off the ship off of Carnival, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yep. On the
So
old ships, like the Glory, they printed them, but on the newer ships, they have them all available in the app where you can look through them. And the cruise director will tell you, this is your last time to get your portraits, to get your, stuff like that. Because once you're off the ship and disconnected from that Wi-Fi, there goes those pictures, and
they're gone.
you can't recover them. So
Yeah. And with Norwegian, your ship card is your key card to see all your photos.
mm-hmm. So they must have like a little area, like kind of like Pixels, where you can go in and view all your photos and
Correct.
pick all of them
Yep.
out.
So
That's
so
cool.
you swipe your card and all your photos will pop up.
Nice.
And the odd time you may find some stranger pop up in your photos.
Right. Because sometimes they can't hear the room number.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it's happened to us a few times, and it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, but yeah, no. But one of the main things is if you're traveling with kids, always set them up for the kids club the day you get on board.
Oh yeah.
Even if they say, "I don't want to do the kids club. I want to be around with you
Mm-hmm.
all week long." To be on the safe side, sign them up. It doesn't say that they have to go, but at least they have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing I do know about it is they get a wristband.
Yep.
They have to wear that wristband all cruise long.
Yeah, we did that on the Breeze when we brought the kids.
Now, if somehow the wristband comes off, as long as they still have the wristband with them, they will replace it for no charge.
Mm-hmm.
If the wristband is lost, then there will be a charge.
Yeah, I think that the dude on the phone told me $20.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, heaven forbid it does come off. Make sure it stays in their pocket or wherever, and next time they go to the club, they turn in the wristband and they'll get a brand new one done at
Nice.
no cost. So that's another way to try and make sure you save money there and not have an extra cost come up. And then of course, depending on the age of the kid,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they have this night owl where it's a paid service and they can stay there a little longer,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fairly reasonable for it.
How's your nephew like? Is he like a gamer, or I mean, what is your nephew into
He's really into gaming.
on the ship?
Yeah, so that's why we have the arcade package, and he'll spend multiple hours in the arcade,
Mm-hmm.
and then every so often I'll have to take him say, let's go to the pool. Let's go here.
Right.
Just to get away from the gaming.
Yeah.
Now, I do use the gaming too, but I have to use his card.
Okay.
And we can only stick to, I believe it's the green games,
Mm-hmm.
which is part of our package.
It's unlimited gaming.
Yeah, and it's so many swipes in so much amount of time. So it's pretty cool.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So like,
No, I'm thinking more along the lines of the kids club, because I noticed that they had a lot of gaming stations in the videos that I watched of the kids club. And I
yeah,
was wondering, what is your opinion on the selection of games in there? And do you think it's adequate enough for the amount of kids that got in there?
I think it is pretty adequate because of course I can only go in on embarkation day
Right,
because after that adults aren't allowed to go in there.
right. Well, what does your nephew say? I mean, does he
And
find that the
it my
selection?
nephew doesn't really complain about it. So we let him know, hey, this is what's going on here. Do you want to go do it? And of course, we always tell him, be back at the stateroom by this set time.
Right?
And maybe once, pushing twice, he's been late out of the many, many of days we've been at sea.
Good track record.
So he has a very good, excellent track record.
It works. Sounds like he likes cruising, man.
Oh, he loves cruising
Yeah.
as much as I love cruising too. So it's a win-win.
You got a
Yep.
person in the chat here.
Hello, Marjorie. How are you doing? And you are saying, good evening. I bet I can bet you on the gaming. Well, you never know. All depends upon which gaming we're doing.
I know, right? You
So
might have a little hard time beating me in the car racing as far as that is concerned, because I love car racing
now,
games.
now the question is, between you and Eddie, who do you think will win the race?
Okay, that is a loaded question, and thank you for asking. Um, I am going to be riding a double cart with me and Hannah. Okay, because she can only ride with me; she can't do it by herself. So if the double carts are allowed to race with the single carts, my idea is that the double carts would be a little more powerful, which they always have to be because they're designed for two people. Now, if that is the case, then I will win based off of the fact that I drive every day for, I do it professionally, and based off of the fact that it's going to be a double cart, which means that they're designed to be faster. And I know that baby's got my back on the laser shooter. You shoot the
Yep.
car and it's supposed to make it go faster. I don't know. I might actually have a competitive edge because then baby girl's going to be with me, and daddy's got to win. So I don't know. I am going to be competitive regardless. However, I do believe that if that is not allowed, that only the single carts can do it. If it's just a straight up battle between us four, okay, now I got to bring in Mike and Scott into the conversation too, because we're all going to race together. Okay. The lightest person is going to win. I mean, that just has everything to do with gravity there, and
Correct.
the fact that, they're electric go-karts, which means that the more weight you put on them, which I'm a pretty big guy and I'm tall too. So it's like, I don't know that I'm going to be in first place if it's just straight up race between us four, but definitely Scott is going to win that, or Mike. Between me and Eddie, it'd probably be me. I don't know. Super Mario might come through and surprise us all. So Well, I have to see how that goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Definitely have to. And of course, it's definitely going to be a YouTube moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, believe me, we're gonna wear out some. We're gonna wear out some gigabytes on that one, for sure.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure I will get even mine filmed when I race my nephew,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm pretty sure my nephew will want to race me,
Yep.
and it will.
Oh snap! We got some bets rolling into the chat here. Yep.
Jeremy, I got my money on you, so you better win so I don't lose my money.
There's a caveat to that. Like I said, Hannah has to ride with me. And so if double carts can race with singles, then yes, I will race those guys. But in the event that that cannot happen, I may have to do a second race. And on that second race, then we can talk because, like I said, Hannah is very little. And that cart is going to be, slightly more powerful than the others. So I don't know. There's a lot of ifs, but we shall see because I know we will race probably more than once. And it might be best 2 out of 3. I don't know. It just might be something like that. I don't know. But thank you for your vote of confidence in me, Marjorie.
Yeah,
I'm pretty heavy though. I am. I'm a pretty heavy guy. So I don't know. These are electric carts. If they were gas, I would say, yeah, let's go ahead and get some wagers going because it's all in the skill of the driver whenever you're dealing with gas.
Yeah, like even though they are electric, I believe my nephew will probably outbeat me on that one.
Yeah.
But 2 summers ago, when we were down in Winterpeg, I outdid him. Even me being the back person, I still came up in front of him. And they were done by gas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the way how you take the corners.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, you need to think the next corner before you are doing that current corner. So you need to know how to line up that person.
Mm-hmm.
And not take them out.
Right.
Because when you're racing, you want to have it as a clean race.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to run a clean race. I am. Eddie said he's gonna knock me out the way. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how that goes. And I know we only got 2 weeks left. We are so excited about this cruise. Everything that gets taken off of the punch list, it makes us feel a lot better.
And of course,
every day for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be running our cruise pre-checklist.
Yep. And of course, if they give you that gap,
mm-hmm.
take it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Take the gap.
I'm taking the gap for sure.
Because chances are they're going to wipe themselves out.
Yep.
But please, for urge, no bumping to bumping.
Yep.
Because that's not running a clean race.
No, it is not.
But yeah, no. It will be loads of fun seeing your footages, my footages.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, we'll have another powwow on this topic. And
thanks for having me on, man.
See how things are, because
yes,
it's gonna be fun. But you said that you were looking at another potential Norwegian cruise.
I am. I'm looking at a 7-day, another 7-day, or just that 14-day has really got my attention because the longest I've been on a cruise is 8 days. And I would like to extend beyond because I really loved what I saw in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Okay, that was a totally different feel than just going to the Bahamas or going to Mexico or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was way different. That ABC cruise really opened up my eyes and let me just glimpse into South America just a little bit. And also it had some European flair to it as well. So it was like the ABC cruise. If you can ever jump on that,
Yeah,
That's where it's at right there. And
yeah,
plus, we were on the Celebration. It was our first Excel. It was an excellent cruise.
yeah. Well, I have the ABC lined up right now
Mm-hmm.
for 26. So hopefully it still stays lined up and clear for a go. But right now I have another cruise just set ahead of it. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it that one doesn't take over the ABC.
Right.
But for your next Norwegian cruise, all I gotta say is uh, 2025 on the
25
getaway
on the getaway.
out of NOLA.
NOLA. Okay. Going to.
That would be pull it up quickly for you. Out of NOLA into Costa Maya, um, Belize, Roatan, and Cozumel, Mexico.
Okay. That'll work. What day?
You are looking at the 26th of January to the 2nd of February.
Oh, that's 2025, right?
Yes, that is.
That same day is the day that Tropic Like It's Hot group cruise on the Harmony of the Seas is leaving Galveston on a 7 day with a kids
Oh, yes.
with a kids
Yes,
sell free
yes, yes.
promotion. So
Yes, yes, I do remember that now.
we'll probably be on that one because I know Eddie's going to be on that one as well. He canceled out the Conquest, Caribbean Conquest, and then put his they chose that one instead of the Conquest. So because it's leaving Galveston, I'll probably be on that one.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do because I remember that now because you guys are in the same port the same day I am
Mm-hmm.
for Cozumel.
Which is Cozumel. We need to meet back up at Paradise Beach and have a good beach day out there, man.
Yes, we
Especially
do.
those tacos, those mahi mahi fish tacos. Oh my god, that stuff was really good.
It
Mainly,
was
I mean,
really good.
and it wasn't so much the fish or the tortilla. You know what? We know what did it was that red cabbage that they put on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, just the weirdest things get together with different flavors, and it just said Caribbean all over it. I loved it.
It did, and we were supposed to originally do the Mexican cooking workshop,
Mm-hmm.
where it was half a day workshop where you do the cooking, and the other half is a beach day open bar for the whole entire excursion
Mm,
for about $100 with transportation. With what we paid, there's no way we paid $100 each
yeah,
for what we did
for what you got, yeah.
for
That's why
what we got.
that
Yeah.
that's why I like the Paradise Beach. You know, it's all inclusive, all you can eat, all you can drink, all you can swim. You got the beach, you got the pool, you got the swim up bar, you got everything right there, and I love it. And they say it's less of a wild party than Mr.
Sancho's.
Sancho's. So it's kind of like a comfortable in the middle type of place
Yeah.
that I like about Cozumel, and that is one place we will be frequenting when we go to Cozumel because we normally just hang out at the port, maybe eat some nachos, have some tequila, have some margarita, and then do some shopping at duty free and go back. And that's been our cadence ever since I've been cruising, except for this last time that Paradise Beach really opened up our eyes to the rest of Cozumel and what it
Yeah.
has to offer.
And of course, when you go back, you need to check out that swing if you haven't checked it out already.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do the
Yeah.
swing and the dock this time if it's not raining. That's the only thing that held me back from vlogging the rest of it is I had to stand under this umbrella because it was pouring down raining. Like every 20 minutes, it would start and stop and
Yeah.
start and stop and start and stop. It was annoying, but hey, you can't predict the weather. So
Yeah. And like, I got some good footage from the swing. I'm still on the hunt for one more piece of the swing
mhm.
because unfortunately I didn't catch that piece. So I'm on the hunt to see if I can find someone that did catch it,
Yep.
but it might be lost at sea.
Could be. But oh, and are you okay? Have you gotten a SD card for your 360 camera? And if so, what type of 360 footage or vlogs have you captured so far? And what can your followers expect coming out of that 360 camera coming up on your channel?
Okay, I have got the 360 memory card. I have not caught no footage yet because I haven't inserted and synchronized it yet.
Right.
But that is something I definitely have to do, and who knows what might be coming off of this upcoming trip.
Okay. Well, we
But
would love to.
I have full plans of trying to get up and running for
Mhm.
this great trip I have coming up.
Good. Good. Because, a 360 tour might not do your channel too bad.
Yep, and it will help me reach. Where's my little Nightbot friend?
Yeah.
It should help. It should help me reach this magical number.
Yeah. I know that you'll be excited when that day comes.
I'll be excited when that day comes, and of course, hopefully, it will just keep driving my numbers up and up.
Well, just use it as motivation. Use it as motivation till you get there. And then once you get there, use it as motivation to do twice as much, because you know how long it took you to get there, and you know how long it's going to, you pretty much are used to a certain pace. But once you get past that amount, it's like you definitely want to grow higher. So you got to put in twice as much work if you want to maintain what you got.
Yep, and of course, before we finally end off the night, what are some of your group cruises that you have coming up for within the plans?
Okay, within the plans,
booked and non-booked.
Okay, booked. We already have 2.0 leaving out of Tampa for my birthday this year. That is the Secret Booze Cruise 2.0 on the Carnival Paradise, October 28th. Then January 26th of 2025, we haven't booked it yet, but are very, very close to hitting the button. We got the Tropic Like It's Hot group cruise that we're going to be on for the Harmony of the Seas. And I know we're excited about that. It's our first Oasis class, first Royal experience. And, I don't want to be part of that group coming back where, everything's got to be like Earl Grey and Grey Poupon and, stuff like that. So I don't want to get too spoiled on that one because, hey, we're party people. You know how we cruise, Rob.
Yeah, so I know how you cruise.
Like, that's just how we get down. I like the party. I like to be there. I like to catch people's engagement with each other and how you got old people, young people, you got everybody coming together to have a big old party. And that's what I love about the Carnival way of life. However, if the food is going to be that much better over on Norwegian, I may have to look for some late night parties or may have to go to the club and, to try to catch some of this party atmosphere that I'm looking for on Norwegian.
The one party I would definitely recommend, and it tends to always be the last night.
Okay.
Is the Glow Party.
The Glow Party. Is that 80s?
Pardon me? Yeah, I think it's normally 80s.
Okay.
The Glow Party. And it always tends to be at the aft, which is the back of the ship.
Yeah.
And it's a great time.
That'll work.
Like, you're talking where they got the boom boxes out and they're just booming a party.
They got it jumping. Okay.
It's jumping.
I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Last night of the cruise might not be too bad because last night of the cruise on Carnival, you're at the dining room and they sing that sad song. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but in one of our vlogs, I'm gonna look to see which one it is. I'm gonna send you the link. They sing this song that'll melt your heart, man. As I was filming it, I was crying. I was like, man, this is sad. This is terrible. But they sing to you in a way that invokes an emotion, and that's what they're supposed to do. That's real music. Hey, Alice Lugo Studios, what's up?
Hello, Alice. How are you doing here today? Yeah. So
Hashtag Panda. Y'all go over there and join our channel, Alice Lugo Studios. Look for the panda and hit that big red button.
yeah, so for me, my next group cruise that is like trying to form into a group cruise is. Can you guess which one it is?
Probably the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise
Nope.
or the Family Reunion Group Cruise 2.0, maybe on the Jubilee.
Nope.
Or actually, yeah, baby just said the Viva. Is that the one out of Puerto Rico?
Yeah, but that's not a group cruise.
That's not a group cruise. Okay.
It is in the year of 2025.
It's in the year 2025. It's not Tropic Like It's Hot.
No, it's in the fall.
In the fall. Booze Cruise 3.0. You had it on your
This one right here.
The Booze Cruise 3.0, hosted by Rob from Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. Ports of call: Costa Maya, Mexico; Roatan, Honduras; Belize City, Belize; Cozumel, Mexico; out of Tampa, Florida; Costa Maya, Mexico; Roatan, Honduras; Belize City, Belize; Cozumel, Mexico. Aboard the Grandeur of the Seas out of Tampa, Florida. Sailing October 25 to November 1, 2025. Book today for this amazing sailing with any travel agent.
I love that music.
Yep.
That says Booze Cruise all over it, man. Grandeur of the Seas. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So book with any travel agent.
Especially Rob with Cruise Brothers, right?
Yep. Especially with Rob with Cruise Brothers. And hopefully we can get this Rob with Cruise Brothers up here one day to
Let's
join
talk
us.
deals.
And reveal who is this Rob with Cruise Brothers.
That's right. That's right. Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming in. Thank you for having me. I am being summoned away, actually. Thank you so much for having me on, Rob. And maybe next week Justin will be able to join.
Hopefully.
I know that we'll be on vacation the week after. So we'll probably be just doing the morning show and probably after dark. Otherwise, you won't see us while we're sailing because, as you know, we disconnect, and you might see us on a couple of other channels, but I don't know. I like to just unplug and unwind when I'm cruising, man.
And enjoy the cruise.
Yeah, and thank you so much, man. Really, thank you for contrasting Carnival versus NCL. We're gonna have to do this again whenever we go on Royal, so I know we'll probably have to have Scott in here for that, just to break it down to us how really different it is, because although a lot of the things are the same, some things are going to be different.
Yep, because each cruise line is uniquely different in their own ways. So, but for sure we'll have to bring you back up again, especially after you get back from the Prima, so you can tell us all about your experience on the Prima.
Oh, believe me, we're going to stay woke a lot of time from what I understand, and All righty. Well, thanks,
Yep.
Rob.
Yep, and thank you for coming on up today, and I'm sure I will see you around the chats, especially tomorrow.
Yep.
Yep.
See you tomorrow morning, man.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Bye.
So thank you all for coming on out for tonight, and I will see you all around the chat. Till next time, I will see you on the high seas and wherever trials may take us. Bye for now.